Hello and welcome to episode 4 of my Everquest 2 tutorial Let's Play series. This episode will be on tinkering, adorning, transmuting, choosing a profession and buying a house. If there is time we may start another gathering quest, which whilst being an epic quest it has epic rewards and is a lot of fun. But let's see how we get on with what I want to show you first. Now, the very first thing that I want to explain to you is as you do your trade skilling in Everquest 2, you gain your levels, and at once you reach level 9, you then need to talk to this person here, the crafting trainer, and choose a profession. Before though I start on all of that, I want to say quickly a thank you to Robert. Thank you very much, Robert, for your question regarding the questions, I should say, regarding the Mage's pet. As you can see down there, John is my summoner's pet. I'm a summoner. So thank you, Robert. Thank you for enabling me to answer a lot of the questions, thereby your questions helping others by me giving answers to them. So there we go. That's why it's great when all of you make comments. It really helps give additional information. Right, anyway, continuing on. So when you get to level 9 in EQ2, you talk to Jalfa. Oh, I'm just going to say crafting trainer because it'll be a lot easier than trying to pronounce some of their names. Just talk to the crafting trainer here. Now, before you do that though, okay, because when you talk to him and give your name and choose a profession, you're going to jump to level 10. But there's something we want to do that I do before then. Now, with all these different trade skills, you can do all of them and as you progress. But when you reach level 10, you have to first choose one of 3 professions, okay? And when you reach level 20, it gets narrowed down to just 1 profession. Now, something I like doing before jumping up to the first profession is when you go to the different crafting stations, there are different items that are invaluable for you to make. Now, for the woodworking table, you'll see that we can make a elm strongbox. Now, it used to be that there was a good reason for making these over the backpacks, but I believe that they eliminated the benefit of it having extra slots, and so now it doesn't really matter about that. But you'll find with each of the different things that you can do, they each of the different professions, trade skills, each have their own benefits. Now, I wanted to show you actually something on here, but I can't seem to see it, which suggests I need to buy some more of the recipes. Okay, now, talking to this...
Well met.
Oops, not that one. Talking to the crafting trainer, okay, you can buy recipe books. So we're not going to talk to them yet, but what I do need to do is buy some of the recipe books that I haven't got. Do not worry about the advanced books yet. They use rare items in the advanced ones, and you could, for example, make expert spells for your spells that you use, which we will get to doing, but at the moment I've got too many things I want to show you, so I'm just going to stay focused. For now, notice these are dark grey, yeah, greyed out, greyish anyway, and if you hover over it, it says that we've already learnt them particular ones. Notice these though are brighter white, and hovering over them it says we know them, but if we hover over these we don't. So I need to learn by the level 8, the level 9, I can't get the 10 yet, so we needed to get the level 8 and level 9 recipes. Now, if I close that, if I open up the recipes, and if I learn these 2 recipe books, now I can show you what I wanted to. So if we go back to the woodworking bench, there is an invaluable item from here that I encourage you to make, and it's these two. Spirit Totem of the Frog, which will give you out of combat health regeneration, but more importantly for the crafters out there like me, Spirit Totem of the Beetle. By making this, we will get out of combat mana regeneration. So let's begin and make one of these. Okay, now the green bar is of course the durability, and the light blue bar is our progress. These first three buttons do our progress, the second three buttons do our durability. So you will notice if I'm not taking heavy damage, I'm always doing the progress, and I'm always doing a couple of the keys, you know, in the breaks from anything any icons appearing in there. That way I'm boosting my progress. But now I'm taking damage. Let's start doing the damage. Okay, now let's do... Oh, I thought I did the right one then. Okay, anyway, it's because I'm trying to talk and do this. But you will fail occasionally. Doesn't matter, it's all good. Just do it again if you fail. Anyway, I'm just going to keep plying away at these. Now let's see if it... Yeah, that time I pushed the right button. It helps when I do. Anyway, so let's do our durability, because it's got really low. You notice, even if there's no icons there, I'm still pushing these two buttons to prompt the progress. And you'll see, alright, I'm not getting a lot of progress, but I'm still getting progress by doing these two, even though there's no icons telling me I have to do it. Right, now that we've created this, if we hover over, you will see it gives us for 30 minutes increased out of combat regeneration by 12. So how fantastic is that? So if I bring up the bags, and if I bring up the character slots, okay, now what we can do is we can equip. If you right click on these totems and equip, okay, it puts it in the slot. You don't have to slot them, you can just keep them in one of the bags. And then what we can do is drag that to down here, and if we right click we can turn auto consume on. That now gives us that extra buff, and so we're getting 12 extra power regeneration, meaning that when I'm spamming the buttons in trade skilling and my mana's going down, it's going to be regenerating quicker than I burn it up. Well, that's the theory, and it does work, because that's what I normally do. Okay, let's just put them on quickly. Okay, so that's the point I wanted to make. Before you go to level 10, you want to do all of the trade skill stations, because look at how my skills are still going up. So max your skills at each table, each workstation. For the wooden workbench, I strongly recommend doing 100 of the beetles and maybe 100 of the frogs. Now obviously another one to do before you get to level 10 and choose a profession would be it would be good to do some backpacks, because if we look at our bags, yes, we've got the first one that we made, but we've still got 3 bags which are only 4 in capacity. So it's a good idea to make some backpacks. You will also then train up these skills. Once you've maxed all of the skills for each of the workstations, and you don't have to, okay, don't get me wrong here, I'm not saying you have to max the skills for all of them, but when you get to choosing one profession, it means if these skills are maxed before you stop getting any skill gain for the other skills, then you won't fail as much. That's all. So you may choose to be a tailor, but you can still go back to your the woodworking bench and make the beetle potions. Because you've maxed your skill out, you won't fail as much as if you didn't bother maxing it out. So hopefully that makes sense. So there we are. Right, choosing a profession then. So we come here, we talk to Sana. No, we don't, that's the work orders. We talk to this one. Let's close that. Okay, and first you have to give your name, and this is going to now enable us to progress. So we say my name is this. Okay, and you see here now we get to choice 3 choices, and each one of these choices has 3 skills professions associated. So a craftsman can be a carpenter, provisioner and woodworker. So when we choose craftsman, we will still be able to get skill gains for carpentry, provisioning, which is cooking and making drinks, and woodworking. If we choose the outfitter, we can be an armourer, a tailor or a weaponsmith. And if we choose the scholar, we can be an alchemist, jeweler and a sage. Now this one, the scholar, is very important for if you want to be able to make your spells and do expert and also the journeyman spells. So that's one of the uses. If you're a thief, you may want to choose this for your potions and poisons. Trust me when I tell you, every single one of the different professions, so of the 9 different skill professions, they are all fun. And trust me when I tell you, you will want to do 9 alts so you can do every single profession. Well, I mean, it might just be me, but I love doing all of the different trade skilling. Anyway, I want to be a tailor. So in order to be a tailor, I need to choose the outfitter, because I want to make backpacks with and my clothing. So I'll choose outfitter, and I won't click OK, because what I want to do is go through, well, I did want to go through maxing all of the skills like I said to you, but I need to show you, so let's just do it. Okay, notice, so I've jumped to rank 10 in my crafting. I am now a craftsman, and I can now go to this person, the crafting trainer, and buy the rank 10 recipe, which is the first of the outfitters recipe books. So if I buy that, okay, now if we go into the pocket, if you right click on a book and left click examine, you can see all of the recipes that the book has before you buy it, in fact. So if I click back on this trade person, if I want to know what's in the next recipe book or any of them, right click, left click examine. So let's close that so you can see, and here we are. So here's the 11, which I can't learn yet until I gain to level 11. But if you right click and examine, you can then see all the recipes that you can learn to know if you want to learn it or not, if it's got the item that you want. So there you are, that's how you do that. For now, let's have a look at the first one that I've got, which is the first outfitter, 10. And you'll see in here that I can make clothing and some weapons. So there we are, that's the first recipe book. Right, anyway, enough of that. So that's how you gain level 10 and choose the profession. That's the first thing. Right, if we come over here, let's show you now the other 3 things I mentioned. The first one I want to tell you about is tinkering. Tinkering, in my opinion, has some of the best items you can make later on when you get your tinkering skill high enough. So for now, I'm going to say I wouldn't mind tinkering up a gizmo or 2. So he will tell us a bit about it. I'll give you long enough to pause that you can read that and continue on. Again, long enough for you to read that in a pause. And I'll go to work now. So you go through and accept the tinkering. Notice we will get reputation with the city. Okay, so if we go into the pocket, you'll notice that he's given us this box of tinkering materials. Right click on it, left click unpack. That gives us the components we need. We do not need to learn a recipe, he's taught us it already whilst we're doing this work for him. The workstation you need to go to do the tinkering first, because all of the tinkering, adorning and adorning quests will use different workstations. The first one for making all-purpose sprockets is this workstation here, which is the workbench. So what we do, click in there, type in all, press enter, and there you go, that's the one we want. So we double click. Okay, we've got the components he's given us, and I've already bought some coal, so we click. I'm only going to do one, so don't worry, I know there's 10 that's got to be done. I'm just going to do one to show you. So it's just like normal crafting. We click begin, and then we've got 3 keys for the progress and 3 for the durability. Notice how I spam the keys even though there's no icons appearing. I'm spamming progress. Okay, and I'll do progress again, and I just keep spamming progress. And the most important thing to remember with this is you get the skill point. So when you do normal trade skilling, you get skill points as you go. With tinkering and adorning, you do not get the skill point until you've finished the round. So until you finish making the item, then you get the skill point. So let's quickly show you again, because it wasn't, my chat was too far up. So I'm going to click repeat and show you once more. So, and I want you to watch this. Okay, so we're going to click begin. Notice you don't get skill points whilst you're crafting. You get them right at the end. And it don't take long when you spam the progress keys. There you go. See, notice we got another tinkering point. Okay, so with tinkering, once we get it high enough, I shall take you to where you go to the trainer for tinkering. For now, let's show you adorning. Like I say, tinkering has a load of fantastic items that you can make, and you can bet that we're going to be making them in later episodes. For now, let's go back. Let's now talk about adornments, and I'm going to get an adornment quest from them now. They're daily tasks in actual fact. And here we go, so I'm going to accept this. Notice we will get Ravens of the North faction, which is the trade skill faction that I want for this palace. Accept that. Okay, and you'll notice over here now I need to create 10 adornments of guarding greater. So as luck would have it, we do that on exactly the same workstation, which again is the workbench. In here, type guard, press enter, and it shows us the adornment of guarding. So we click on that. Okay, notice there's none of the components there because I've not unpacked. So find the box in your pocket, right click, unpack. That now gives us the items that we need. So we can now begin. It's exactly the same as tinkering. You will get the skill point for it right at the end once you've finished making the item. Tinkering and adorning are just so much fun to do. They really are, and I believe free players can do this as well. But some of the items that you can make are just so fantastic. Notice there we got the skill point at once we'd finished making it. Tinkering and adorning, okay, do not take them lightly. They will take you a long time to progress up because you are limited each day to how many points you can earn. But trust me when I tell you, tinkering and adorning are both worth doing. Although my personal favourite is tinkering because you can make some awesome items. But having said that, you can also make awesome items with adorning. Right, so that's tinkering, that's adorning. Again, I will show you where the crafting trainer is for adorning once I get to level 10. For now, let's show you transmuting. So we click, and I'm going to take the transmuting task, daily task now. We get the faction again, and okay. Okay, so this time we go into the pocket and we unpack again. Oh, typical, I haven't got enough inventory space. Right, okay, great. You know what? I'm going to show you the... we'll go back to that. I'm going to quickly show you the broker. The broker's your best friend. The broker is a good way for you to make a ton of money. So what we do, if we go to the sell selling items here in the broker. Now the first thing you should do is the biggest container you have, that's what you should use. So maybe make a chest and then put that in there. For now I will just use this. It only has 2 slots in it. So what I can do now is I can drop this axe in there. See, so you put your container in first of all, and then you drop the items you want to sell into that container, and they will appear down here. And then what you can do, click on the item that you've got, search the broker, see what people have priced it at. So you'll see 11 gold is the cheap, and no, 1 gold 20 silver is the cheapest. So if we go back, the price is worth 6 copper. So anything over 6 copper is making us money. So I will set the price, so click set price, and I will say, for example, 20 silver, and OK. Now remember, bear in mind, when you sell an item, the broker will get takes a small fee. So although we've set it to that, my mind's a bit cloudy on that actually. But anyway, so I've cleared up hopefully enough pocket space. What I'll do, let's quickly drop one other item if I've got room. Yep, let's sell this. No, let's sell that. Okay, so you see I've only got space in this for 2 items. It's now full, but let's do the same again. Search the broker. Okay, 5 silver. So this one we aren't going to make much money with at all. So what we can do though, anything over 6 copper is making us money. So if the other person's selling for 5 silver, we'll sell for, well, we'll put the same price. We don't want to be in a battle with them. So we'll say 5 silver as well. Then if we search the broker, you can see that there is the us and there is them. They're slightly cheaper than us. So what we need to do is go back to our item and set the price, because we want to be the same. So what we'll do is we will clear, oops, let's do this again. So we'll say 4 silver, 50 copper. Okay, that. Search the broker. There you. No, I'm just slightly cheaper. In fact, well, there we go. Let's see if I now manage to sell. So that's how you do the broker, and that's how you set up your prices. Right, now I've got some space in my pocket. Let's continue with transmuting. Now with transmuting, you do not need to use a workbench. Now I'm just having a moment of silliness. I've managed to get myself lost. Oh, I went the wrong way. Okay, so going back over here to the daily task giver. So bear in mind, with this task giver, once a day you can do a tinkering, adorning and transmuting quest with him. So let's try and unpack the items. Oh, of course it's loads of pairs of boots that I need to transmute. So let's go to the bank quickly. Down here is where the bank is. I believe I mentioned it. Okay. Right, so what we'll do, let's just put a load of this stuff in the bank for now, just to free up some space. In fact, I want to just do items because I'm going to get to the house in a moment, so I want to keep some of the items on me, which I can show you with that. Right, okay, food and drink don't need. Let's just see if I've made enough space now. Right, can I unpack? Yes, there we go. Right, okay, so I've managed to create the space. Let's go back up here. Sorry for my flapping around, but I get there in the end. Okay, so here we are. We've now got all these boots that we need to transmute. To do that, what we'll do, we'll bring up our knowledge window, not the character, knowledge window, and second page along, we'll grab the transmute and we'll drop it there. Okay, now to transmute is really simple. Left click on transmute and then left click on a pair of the boots. This window appears saying, are you sure you want to do it? Say OK, accept, and we've updated the quest once. Well, because this is quick, I'm going to do it so I can show you one of them being completed. Accept, because I don't want to do the rest of this series with a pocket full of boots, which wouldn't make a lot of sense because I'll keep running out of space. You can be sure once I finish recording I'm going to make a load of backpacks because I am a tailor after all. Right, okay, so you can see transmuting. This is a recent addition. How recent I'm not sure, but you never used to have a daily task, I don't believe, for the transmuting, so it is absolutely fantastic. What I would say about my gap from the game is they have just made it even more fun than it already was, and you know what, I didn't think that was possible, but really seriously all the changes I've seen so far that the developers have made to Everquest 2 have been fantastic. It is just total fun. Fun. In fact, I'm probably going to spend the rest of the day playing this, although I can't because I need to get into my monster and sort the next episode out for that. But there you are. Once you've done the 10 items for him in one of the dailies, then you just left click and say you've completed, and there we go. I've got 300 faction, got some experience, and got a token, a city token. These tokens are also handy. I don't believe I've got the time to cover them now, so I'm just going to say you're welcome to him. Right, okay, so that's tinkering, adorning and transmuting. Now let's bring up the mail window. There's one thing I want to show you first of all, which is missing property, Office of the Harbour Master. At this point you should have this message, and when you open it up you'll see it's a message from the Harbour Master, and he says he's received a mysterious message in a bottle which was apparently found washed up from the ocean. So this is another lovely little thing with EQ. The quests, I love the quests in it. We're going to accept the quest. We are not going to do the quest yet because the quest itself is in the Enchanted Lands, and we will be dead quicker than you can say Bob's your uncle if we go to the Enchanted Lands, so we won't go there yet. But the reason I've done that is because it has given us an item. It's given us a bottle that we can place in our house. We don't have a house yet, so why not show you how you get your own house. So it gives you a starter house. To get the starter house, you talk to Warden Bretta down here. You can see by the feather that he's got a quest for us, which is our first house. So we left click, and he's now going to tell us, or she's going to tell us about the quest. So we're going to say, actually there's a few things I'd like to know. When you do that, you see it tells you all about the house. So I'm just going to say that should be all I need to know. Okay, so they're going to now tell us that we need to click on this door behind us. So I'm going to accept the quest, and you see now we've got a quest for the house. The first thing you have to do is come up to this door, right click and left click access, or you can, I believe that's just left click. Yeah, so it's easier just to left click and then buy. Okay, now the first thing before you enter the house, I would recommend paying some upkeep. It's only 5 silver, for goodness sake, hardly anything. Oh, there's the timer. I'm just going to finish this off. My apologies for you for overrunning the video, but I just want to show you this. Okay, so there we go, we've got 3 weeks, that's good enough. Left click, enter the house. Once we enter the house, the quest will complete. and we'll get the fanfare. There you go, there's the fanfare. We've now got these items, so we'll accept. If I open up the pocket now, okay, here's the items. The first thing to place is the market board. To place an item, right click on it, left click place. It then will appear on the cursor. You can move backwards and forwards, left and right, turn around left and right using the arrow keys. I'm going to place it right here by my door so it's easy to access it. And I'll pull it, if you just get the icon where you want it and then left click and it places it. To use it, walk up to it, right click, and you can browse marketplace, and there we are, same as using the broker. How fantastic is that? Over here, when you sell items, they will appear, and you just drop the items into the containers as you place. I need to make containers, lots of them. I'm out of time though, there's so much I want to tell you about, it's untrue. Anyway, you sell items even when you're not logged into the game. How fantastic is that? So that's the market board. The next thing, right click the table, left click place. Let's put the table down. Now with the bottle that we got a moment ago, right click, left click place. Let's place it on the table. You can at any time then right click on that bottle and read the message. Like I say though, too soon for us to do that quest. For those of you out there that like looking at yourselves and are vain, left click, place the mirror and put it at a height where you'll be able to see yourself. Me, I'm not particularly bothered at looking at my bald head. Last thing to place is the chandelier. Right click, left click place. You can use the right mouse button to look up and down, and I'll place it just there. Yeah, I know I'm not that good at decorating. I'm here to show you, not to adorn my skills at decorating, because I have none. Right, okay, I think that is everything I wanted to show. Well, I did want to show you some more, but I'm well out of time. These other items as well, this book that we got from the Ravens of the North, you can also place all your books. So I'll place it there. Now you can make bookcases and all sorts of other wonderful items. We're going to do that. All in more later episodes. But I think I've overrun long enough. I'm very sorry for that. Wherever you are in the world, God bless you and keep every last one of you safe. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day. I hope you've enjoyed this episode on EQ2. Goodbye.